You went to school, you got the degree, you landed a decent job, you did exactly what you were supposed to do. So why does it feel like you have absolutely nothing to show for it? When the math doesn't add up at the end of the month, the instinct is to search for a personal mistake. But these results often trace back to a specific set of rules we were taught to follow long before we ever earned our first dollar. This training begins early. The mass education system was built to provide a stable, manageable workforce. Students are taught to wear a uniform, sit still, and wait for a bell to tell them when they are permitted to move. Within this environment, you are graded on your ability to find the single right answer. This creates a lasting fear of making mistakes, a mindset that prioritizes obedience over the risks required to build independent wealth. That conditioning translates directly to the modern workplace. You learn to trade your time for a paycheck, following a schedule designed for predictability. A society focused on stability needs millions of machine parts to stay in their proper places. It needs employees who arrive on time and follow protocols, keeping the cost of management low and the economic gears turning. By the time you receive a diploma, you are ready to enter the adult economy. But very few people start from a neutral baseline. This is financial socialization, the habits and self-control skills passed down through families. For the wealthy, this acts as an invisible shield, protecting capital through inherited knowledge. Without that shield, the other path is immediately weighed down by taxes, inflation, and default behaviors. Lacking a different model, most people adopt a system designed for spending. They judge their success by what they can buy, matching the consumption patterns of everyone else around them. If you don't actively replace those habits, you will default to the behaviors that keep the economic machine running at your own expense. The modern economy is built on frictionless extraction. Your income is targeted by auto-renewals, subscriptions, and buy now, pay later services that separate you from your cash with a single click. Splitting a purchase into small weekly payments doesn't change the cost. It simply removes the psychological pain of spending. You buy more, lose track of the staggered dates, and find your capital bleeding out in small, invisible leaks. This perpetual financial pressure drains your cognitive bandwidth. Managing tight resources requires constant attention, which depletes your mental energy. When that battery is empty, the brain seeks immediate relief, triggering a reward loop that encourages a quick purchase for a momentary dopamine spike. This emotional spending acts as an anesthetic for systemic stress. It provides a few minutes of comfort, but it leaves the underlying financial problem exactly where it was. The system is calibrated to exhaust you. When your mental energy is low, you are more likely to seek relief through consumption, a cycle keeping you permanently tethered to your next paycheck. As your income rises, you encounter the most socially accepted wealth trap, lifestyle inflation. There is a quiet mandate to upgrade your environment to match your new salary. Raises and bonuses are often spent before they arrive, traded for nicer cars or larger homes. Instead of building freedom, you are surrendering that capital to maintain a more expensive life. This is accelerated by social media algorithms that weaponize comparison. They serve you a constant stream of curated luxury, forcing you to finance a high-status lifestyle just to match an artificial digital baseline. Looking successful and being successful are very different things. Using debt to project wealth pulls money out of your future to pay for attention in the present, locking you into obligations that limit your choices. If your expenses grow at the same pace as your income, you aren't making progress. You're just running faster on the exact same treadmill. Escaping this cycle requires a shift in priorities. It means moving away from the assembly line logic and toward a mindset of ownership. The core difference: while the middle class buys a lifestyle, the wealthy acquire assets, redirecting every excess dollar into a vault of stocks, real estate, or equity. Over time, these assets generate cash flows, and only then do they pay for luxury expenses. This strategy requires taking calculated risks and enduring temporary discomfort. It means living below your means today to build compounding leverage for tomorrow. Wealth isn't defined by a salary. It is defined by how much of your life is funded by systems that operate entirely independent of your daily labor. Hard work alone isn't enough, and motivation is unreliable. It disappears the moment things get difficult, which is exactly when real progress happens. To break the cycle, you need repeatable systems, automating your investments so they happen regardless of how you feel, and strictly capping your expenses so your savings can outpace your lifestyle. The choice is simple. The system has trained you to be a spending employee. To move forward, you must stop upgrading your lifestyle and start acquiring the assets that fund it.